Video games have been the lifeblood of entertaining the last 2 generations and show absolutely no signs of slowing down. However, as games get more expansive, they require much more work to be done into them. This often means that many positions are overlooked when it comes to proper treatment, especially voice actors, who provide the memorable human element that gamers crave. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a revolutionary new deal between voice actors and game companies that will do wonders for the profession going forward. Firstly, the state of voice acting in video games. Where would video games be without voice actors? Seriously, would AAA titles like 2018's God of War be without Christopher Judge's now iconic portrayal of the ghost of Sparta herself, Kratos? Or would Batman's Arkham game series be anywhere without the dynamic duo of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill? Of course not. These games would be only shells of what they currently are if they had neglected the process of casting their characters. Unfortunately, in reality, many games fail to properly compensate for their voice talent, along with misleading their voice actors during production and frankly, mistreating them to their breaking point. For example, oftentimes during the audition process, voice actors are not given crucial details such as the character's accent, age, or motivation, leaving the voice actors to guess how they should deliver their line, oftentimes causing people to lose out on jobs because they were not given the proper information in order to succeed. Furthermore, voice actors are oftentimes improperly compensated, as they are not given a set amount per hour for their work, which unfortunately results in some actors not being paid properly for their contribution. As if that wasn't bad enough, the working conditions for voice actors in gaming studios sometimes very harsh, seeing the voice talent do multiple lines for a long period of time with no breaks. When your livelihood revolves around your voice, streaming is usually a bad idea, and yet some game studios do not seem to care about the health of the actor providing service for their game. Clearly, something had to change in order to protect voice actors in video games, and luckily, something has finally come along. Next up, Equity saving the day for voice actors in games. Equity is the trade union for people who work in performing arts and voice acting in the UK, and thankfully, it stepped up and ushered in a new age of voice talent that will protect people in the industry for years to come. A new deal was announced in December of 2021 that will put in new legislation that aims to provide much better working conditions for those who provide their voice in video games. The deal between Equity and voice performers will be in place until 2023 and enforces gaming companies to follow more ethical guidelines when hiring, working with, and compensating voice actors. For example, under this agreement, companies that post an audition must disclose the character's accent, age, and role in the game well before the person comes into the audition. Furthermore, they must disclose any possibly disturbing content in the game that they may have to portray, such as racism, violence, sexism, or homophobia, prior to the actor's acceptance of the role. In addition to these changes, actors will now be entitled to minimum wage depending on the budget of the game. For example, games with a £5 million budget or more must provide the actor with a minimum wage of £300 per hour of voice work. The minimum wage scales as per the studio's budget, but it is more than far in each price bracket. Along with an actual wage, actors are now entitled to be compensated for any overtime worked or any wages that were paid late, along with a guarantee that their name will be in the post-game credits to ensure that they're publicly credited for their role in the game. Moreover, all actors are entitled to the right to rest their voice should they so desire, which seems only fair as oftentimes these actors are subjected to altering their voice in a very difficult manner. The agreement states that per every hour of voice work, the actor is entitled to a minimum of 5 minutes of vocal rest that'll allow for actors to work longer days without causing long-lasting damage to their voice, allowing for more polished products in the future. This deal is not only great for actors, but it's great for everyone involved in gaming, from the publishers all the way to the consumers. Next, why this new agreement is better for everyone. Believe it or not, this new agreement is not just good for voice actors in the UK, it's better for everyone in gaming. For starters, the updated rules that enforce the fair treatment of all voice actors is going to do a few beneficial things for the industry that'll eventually become the industry standard, thus increasing the overall quality of games in the future. In simpler terms, if voice quality begins to rise in games made in the UK, their sales will skyrocket, which will grab the attention of gaming companies all over the world. They'll be forced to then implement the same working environment that is present in the UK, which will therefore increase the quality of any newly released game, which will obviously make for the increased enjoyment of all who purchase the game, which can only lead to good things in the gaming industry. Furthermore, if game companies in the UK continued to treat their voice actors as poorly as they previously were, there was certainly a chance for a workers' strike, causing many games to be left in development. The pushing back release dates, which is never good for the company or gamers overall, these new changes are amazing for gamers and the companies who purchase the games, and thus is a step in the right direction in the otherwise turbulent gaming industry. What are people saying about this new deal? Mark Esdale, the voice director and managing director at OMUK, was very vocal about how great this deal is for all involved. Esdale said, "I'm deeply grateful for the dedication of the voice actors who took the initiative and did the legwork that kickstarted the necessary consultation between industry producers, equity, and the agents." Along with his statement acknowledging the talent provided by voice actors, Esdale pointed out the fact that video gaming was considered the Wild West of media compared to movies or TV shows when it came to the employment of voice actors, which makes no sense as video games today require more voice actors than any other media. Additionally, without a clear description of studio best practice or clarity regarding wages, what systems would be in place to attract new voice talent to the video game industry? If this step was not taken, then the video game industry would be likely to witness a collapse in talent quality and subsequently would suffer huge losses as the quality of games dropped significantly as time went on. Now that there are fair and clear rules as to the compensation and expectations, voice talent should be flocking in for years to come. It'll supply gamers with countless hours of enjoyment. Lastly, the importance of voice acting. Just to give you guys one last look as to why this agreement is so important, let's take a look at one of the most famous games of all time, Bethesda's Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Often referred to as just Skyrim, it has been one of the best-selling games of all time, being originally released on the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC in 2011. It's been remastered for the PS4 and Xbox One, as well as the PS5 and Xbox S series, making it one of the only games to be available on 3 different console generations and 10 years. While the game's amazing not only for its gripping story and amazing gameplay, it also does an excellent job of immersing the player into the world of Tamriel. And it does this by having a world that feels real. How does it do this? By having hundreds of unique, non-playable characters that score the world, giving the player unique interactions and thousands of lines of dialogue. In fact, the estimated amount of dialogue in the game is more than 60,000 lines, performed by over 70 different actors. Can you imagine where Skyrim would be without its iconic dialogue? I'll tell you, it definitely would not have been remastered twice, would not be in the running for best game of all time like it is today. Dialogue can break games, and without voice actors, games will fall flat. This deal is the only thing that allows games in the future to be as good or hopefully better than Skyrim. Next time you finish a great game, maybe give those credits a read and acknowledge the hard work the voice actors did to provide you with thousands of enjoyable hours on your favorite game. That's the video. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think of this new deal? What games coming out soon are you most excited about? Who's your favorite voice actor in video games? Let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. It's free to you, only takes a second, and it goes a long way in helping out the channel. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next video.